Okay, year 10s, part 2. Now we want to find the equation of the function that goes through these 2 points, and we will be told in the question that we are looking for an exponential function. So just to remind you, an exponential function formula looks like this. We have y equals a times b to the exponent x. Now we do not know what a is, we do not know what b is. That is our goal. We need to figure out what those are in order for us to have a proper function. Now, in order to do that, what we are going to have to do is we're going to have to use these 2 points that were given. So, giving us a general idea of what this graph will look like, this will be an exponential function, probably growth. So it's going to go up like this. And our 2 points on here, this first point is 110. The second point here is 250. Goal, we need to find a and b. So let's do this. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my first point here and sub it into my general formula. So I'm going to start with y equals ab to the x. This is my first point. And I'm going to sub in 110. So y is equal to 10. 10 is equal to a, b, and x now is 1 based on our function. So that's ab to the power of 1. That's the same thing as saying 10 equals ab. First equation. For the second equation, I'm going to use my second point right here. So this is second, and I'm going to use 3 and 250. So y is equal to 250, x is equal to 3. I'm going to sub that into my equation. We have 250 equals ab all to the power of 3. Perfect. So now we have this equation here. We have this equation here. Best way to solve for these is to isolate one variable. So we want one variable all by itself, and then we can sub one of these equations into the other one. I'm going to choose this one because this one doesn't have any exponents on it, and I'm going to rearrange for a here. So I'm going to solve for a. So in order to do that, I want to get rid of b. In order to do that, I'm going to divide this side by b, and I'm also going to divide this side by b here. That means I'm going to be left with a over here. B divided by b gives us just 1. And then over here we have 10 divided by b. That is the same thing as saying a equals 10 over b. So then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over to 2. I'm going to say sub a equals 10 over b, or this is equation 1, I guess I could call it, into 2. So wherever I see a now, I'm going to put this new thing here, 10 over b. So we have 250 equals, our a is now this, so I'm going to put 10 over b times, and we have b to the power of 3 in brackets here. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify this. This is where we need to know our index form and how indices cancel each other out. So simplifying this out, we have 250 equals 10b cubed over b. When we have 2 exponents, one on the top, one on the bottom, we can minus our exponents. So we have 250 equals 10, 3 minus, this is the exponent 1, 3 minus 1 gives me b squared here. So then what I'm going to do, I'm going to divide both sides by 10 to get b all by itself. So divide by 10 here, divide by 10 over here. That means we have 250 divided by 10, that just gives us 25. That equals b squared. How do I get rid of the square? I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So then root of b squared, that just gives us b. Square root of 25, that is 5. So now we know b is equal to 5. That's one of the 2 variables we want. Second variable we want to figure out is a. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to sub it back into my equation. That's originally over here. So what I'm going to do, sub b equals 5 into 1. So 1 is equal to a equals 10 over b. b is now equal to 5. a equals 10 over 5. 10 divided by 5. a equals 2. There's the other part of my equation there. Perfect. So now a equals 2. b equals 5. That can give us our original equation. Now remember, our original exponential function looks like this. Y equals ab to the power of x. We now know what a is, we now know what b is, we can just sub those in. So we have y equals, a is 2, b is 5, and x is going to stay the same there. To write this correctly, I'm actually going to also put brackets around my 5 just to show this x exponent here does not apply to this 2, it only applies directly to that 5 right there. So it's saying 2 times 5 to the power of x right there. That is my equation. Then, if we needed to, we could use this equation to solve for other points on our curve. Okay? So that goes back up to our curve here. Now we know the equation of this curve is y equals 2 times 5 to the x. Perfect. That is probably the most tricky question that you will encounter on your test. So if you can ace that, you are good to ace everything. So just take a look at that. One step, finding our equations. Second step, solving for one variable. Third step, subbing in, finding a and b, and putting them into our equation. Awesome. Have a wonderful day, everyone.